My necklace is not for nothing on that place. Of course, I'm not like everyone else. You can might see this walking around in the forest with a dragon mask on, being much more dragon than a human at that moment. But I'm not ashamed of it, not anymore. I just when I was a child, of course, that was much more difficult because I was bullied a lot, but really a lot, so much so that I had suicidal thoughts. But yeah, it always has been different. And one day I was bullied so much that I was punched so hard here in the center of my chest, here at this place where my dragon necklace is. This is given to me by a witch who saw and felt my dragon. I never had this after it, never had this before. And this is on the place where I was punched so hard. Really, but when this bully was doing this, this feeling that I had was not really of pain, but something that I could not describe what was happening. I was like feeling like astral projecting at that moment. Really, when this bully was punched, I mean, punched me so hard in the chest. I really had this feeling of yeah. This was yeah. This brings back things, of course. But when this bully did this, I had this feeling of astral projecting, and this happened when I was a child. The time that I was astral projecting, I was 6 years old the last time that happened. But I was not yet awakened. I was only, for example, 14 years old when this happened. Punched for no reason at all. Just this yeah. But yeah, you have to understand something. I understand this very much now. That yeah, what are the gifts of the gods? The gift of the dragon gods are in fact Tiamat gives us the gift of chaos. Tiamat gives us the gift of freedom and the gift of fertility. That is what she gives. Leviathan gives us the gift of being one with the darkness, being prepared for it, being prepared for everything, and be a guidance. And of course, Quetzalcoatl is a gift of compassion, of wisdom, and of ancient wisdom even, and also of compassion, of being one with life in itself. That is what Quetzalcoatl is. And of course, Fafnir. Fafnir, what is Fafnir? Fafnir is fire, but that is every dragon that is now portrayed inside of movies, inside of videos, inside of all of them are fire breathers. But that is wrong. In the ancient times when dragons were worshipped, they didn't see dragons as fire-breathing dragons, fire-spitting dragons that destroyed everything. In fact, they saw the dragons as what being one with the four elements. Four elemental beings. That is what dragons were always being seen. And Fafnir's fire is not physical fire. Fafnir's fire is much more complex than this. Fafnir's fire is also the gift that he gives to us. And what is Fafnir's fire? Fafnir's fire, that the gift to us is eternal life. Eternal. And that is the reason why we are here. Because even death could not erase what we have in our mind. That is the reason why I walk around as a dragon witch. Because we cannot die. Our spirit cannot die. And the simple reason for that is dragon fire. Dragon fire that is being reborn inside of us. And so to continue about this story with this bully that punched me so hard, I was punched here in my chest. So hard. I still feel it to this day. It's so many years ago. I can still feel it. Not pain, but sensitiveness. Very sensitive. Where this necklace is about. And this is what my this witch could feel very much. This witch could feel so much where this energy is. She said, oh, that is the perfect size to give it to where it belongs. It belongs to cover up something, yeah, something important. Because here in my chest is where my personal dragon fire is. The gift of Fafnir has been given to me here. When the dragon came to me for the first time, when I was falling down on my knees, my dragon, did like this. It just touched me with an entire claw here, and I was immediately awakened. I could remember that she was going through my body. She was not stopping at my body, but going underneath and going around it. But this was the center of it, and this is also what we all have. We all have a sensitive part in our body, and it's all touching dragon's fire. We all have dragon's fire. We all have given the gifts of the gods. But we have to awaken the gifts ourselves. Sometimes with the dragon by our side, also by the dragon gods. And the dragon gods are giving it, and the dragons by our side should actually activate it. But once it's activated, it cannot be brought back again, because this will change your life eventually. This is also what made me a dragon witch, the dragon fire within. So yeah, I just want to say there is a sensitive part on your entire body. The sensitive part is where your dragon will try to touch it. Even it can be that it's your dragon god that will eventually open it up. It can be everywhere. It can be inside of your fingers. It can be inside of your head. It can be on your toes. It can be on your arm. It can be on your leg. It can be on your back. I don't know. With everyone, this is a different place. But with me, it is here in the center of my chest. And that is why since the beginning of my path, ever since I felt it, whenever this witch gave it to me, I never take it off. It's always on the same place where this bully punched it so hard, but really so hard, that I was not having pain. It was so strange. It was really, really hard. I mean, I was used to being bullied, still to this day. But in fact, I was preparing for having a large pain, but I didn't. I hadn't. And this is because of Fafnir's fire that was already there, even though I was not awakened at the moment. I was still just a child. I was 14 years old, and I was already with it. That is what I said, that you are born with dragon's fire. It might not be activated yet, but it will eventually. And that is the reason why the dragon is still here. That is the reason why you have your dragon eye. That is the reason why you have your dragon circle. That is the reason why death could not erase it. That is also the reason why no one has to talk about the dragon. You know this for yourself. You know this about the dragon. No one has to tell you anything about the dragon. Simply because of this dragon fire. And because of the gift of Fafnir, dragons cannot die. They simply cannot die. They just continue to evolve and to go somewhere different. So in fact, search this down. What is the most sensitive part of your body? It's sensitive because it touches you on your spirit. It touches you where you are, the core, the center of your spirit, you can say. And whenever you are touching it, it's much more sensitive than another place. But yeah, like I said, whenever I had this punch, I didn't immediately understood what was going on. Really, I said this was, yeah, I was astral projecting, and that is also what happens to us. That is also what happens to a lot of dragon spirits. Dragon spirits can go out their body very fast. It can be that you go out of your spirit when you are asleep. Dragons go out of their body all the time. That is also what you can have when you are going to sleep. That you can have an astral projection so easily that you don't even know it was going on. I was only 6 years old that I was astral projecting, simply because I was also born with this, also born with dragon's fire. And that is what I cannot understand from all these shows and TV shows and Game of Thrones and things like this. All of them are fire breathers. All of them based by a story from Christians to demonize the dragon. And Fafnir is the only dragon of fire. The only dragon of fire that cannot die. Even his blood made people invincible. It's because the dragon Fafnir was born like you and me. And yet, because of the touch with the gold of Odin, he became a god of where he was one with fire. But the fire breathing was actually a metaphor for having an astral projecting. An astral projection of your spirit. When you are breathing fire, you are breathing your own spirit. You are emitting your own spirit over you. And so that is actually what is breathing fire, even when you are so angry. And that is also what Fafnir's element is. But the emotions of Fafnir is anger, is protection. So when you are feeling to breathe fire, you are trying to emitting your own dragon spirit, so that they would your own dragon spirit would be your protection. It's actually dragon's fire, fire breathing for the dragon is in fact the spirit that goes out and tries to protect you, tries to, yeah, you are protecting yourself. If you want to get rid of all dark energies, keep in mind, when you are doing this, when you are astral projecting, you are trying to protect yourself. You are trying actually to breathe fire like a dragon does.